Oh,
There she goes. Shalom, 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 everybody. Peace and blessings. All praise to the Most High, Yah, and giving Him thanks and glory to the Messiah. Thanking Him for the Messiah, for sending Him. Would have been for the Messiah, would have been done. And giving thanks to the Most High for you all. Y'all here bringing this word, this truth, and giving thanks to all of the strangers that's going to join in during the time of the end, well, the beginning for Jacob's seed, the so-called black people, the Israelites of the Bible. And tonight we're having a Caribbean night again, and I like to giving the honor and praises for the Most High for having my brother Biblical on here and Sister Pamela. So we're gonna wait a few minutes and see if anybody come into the chat. There we go. All right, we start seeing people coming into the chat. While we waiting on that, Biblical, you want to have words right quick?
Yes. You said, and thanks unto the strangers joining on to Israel during the time of the collapse.
During the time when we get back in our kingdom as handmaids and servants.
Oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, because I was thinking I was about to ask if we can make a class on that. Maybe we should start going out to teaching them, because like the thing is, they can't just continue worshiping Krishna and all these weird gods if they're going to end up being, servants and stuff. Shouldn't we just start teaching them the truth and being like, throw away that, white image and all these other lies and start picking up the Bible for what it is? I mean, they know we're his people, but they should also, like, I feel like they should also worship God, but like I'm not saying intermarry or anything like that. I'm saying they stay over there. We worship God. We can all worship God, but they understand the truth. You get what I'm saying? Shouldn't we we should probably start getting them prepared, or at least the ones that want to learn. Like, they know that they're Gentiles, unlike these camps that teach lies onto real Gentiles, saying they're Israelites and they're not. Maybe it's best that we go ahead and start teaching them that they're Gentiles, and Christ,
We'll talk about that, because the Most High got something to say. Who is who gonna be spared? So we'll talk about that. But
gotcha.
That's a good idea. But you want to greet the chat?
Shalom chat. Shalom chat. I'm back. Hello guys.
And now we got Sister Pamela here. I'm asking if she want to greet the chat, and then if she want to get started, we can get it rolled. So go ahead, Sister Pamela.
Hi, shalom to all your loyal listeners. Blessings from the Most High, saying hello from the lovely island of Trinidad and Tobago to all your subscribers and those who are on the live.
All right, so tonight is part 2, and I hope Ralph Wolf comes on here, him and his wife. There we go. Let me put this in the chat. There they go. Y'all, so hold on. It ain't working right. There we go. The copy. Okay. I'm gonna put this all right, Ralph Wolf. Y'all can come in whenever y'all get ready, because this is y'all's night. But Sister Pamela, she gonna start out bringing a message, and I think after that, if we want to talk more, have questions. So I'm gonna put, before we start, y'all, Sister Pamela, you doing it? I want y'all to greet the chat. Oh, there they go. Hold on. Shalom, shalom, Ralph Wolf, husband and wife.
Good evening. Can everybody hear us?
So before we get started, Sister Pamela, I'm gonna put Biblical. Do you want Biblical to do it, or I'm gonna put the chat up? I want y'all to greet the chat. Or you want Biblical to do it, then you can go and get started, or what?
Yeah, go ahead. Biblical could do.
All right, Biblical. Put the names up in the chat. I want you to greet the chats, give them the Shalom or whatever.
Oh, well, let me quickly see the. Oh, Shalom Shabriz, y'all. Shalom and blessings. Says, Shalom him, HIM. Yep. Shalom Trini Puppy. Shalom the beginners channel. Okay.
Brother Eric. Shalom, brother.
Eric.
I sent you an email.
Yeah, that's his name. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Shalom, brother Eric. Oh, Shalom, Living Larry. That's Ghost. He's using my other account. Shalom, Ralph Wolf. Shalom, Yashadek. Shalom, Samantha. And Shalom, Kaya.
All right. So tonight is part 2. We're going to hear some more about the Caribbeans, and we're trying to wake up the Caribbean, the people that's in the Caribbeans and like places like Trinidad and Jamaica, the West Indians. We trying to wake them up and make sure they're aware that they are Israelites too. So many times we get on here, even me myself, I have to say, we sort of forget about the Caribbeans, because I find ourselves talking about South America just as much as talking about North America and Africa, but we forget about the Caribbeans. So tonight we're doing a part 2. Sister Pamela, you got it. You got anything you want to share? Let me know. I'll put it up.
Okay. All right. So I'll start to present my screen. So bear with me. Let me know if you could see the screen.
I can't see the screen. I'm not sure if it's something that's. Let me see.
I'm trying to put it up. Oh, there you go.
All right.
You got it?
Okay.
But I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing that's dark. Just let you know.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you're
like
not
in the
seeing.
Caribbean.
You're not seeing the you're not seeing the screen at all?
No, it's dark. Hold up. Try to put it in again, because I put it up and it was dark. See if you can put it back up again. It's showing this up there, but I don't see nothing up there. I mean, I don't see nothing on screen. Even before I put it up, I don't see nothing.
Okay. I don't know.
Let me see. See, I hit it. It's up there, but it's just dark.
Okay, I'm gonna try something else.
All right. Probably have to come back out and redo it. Like you taking it down. Shalom, Sharon O. Shalom with Kira King. Jason Campfer. Let's see what else we got on. Shalom, Observer Deprogrammer.
Can you see it now?
Yeah. I got you. All right, there you go.
Well, that looks like a lot of repeats.
Okay, so you all could see my screen, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, so let's get it kicked off. Okay, so last week we did Waking Up the Caribbeans, part 1. Before I start, I'd like a courtesy where you all could mute your mic so I could finish the whole presentation, and then afterwards we could speak. So we wouldn't get any interruptions with phone calls or background noises. Okay, so this will be part 2 of Waking Up the Caribbeans. So the whole purpose of this live is to bring awareness to, as Brother Kadar said, we have a tendency to focus on the Americans when it compares to the waking up of the Israelites. We keep saying African Americans and the 400 years are now over, and we keep hearing the terminology African Americans. So we Caribbeans, we have a tendency to feel left out. And I like the idea that Brother Kadar has given me his platform to show that we Caribbeans, we feel left out in a sense. And this platform has given me the opportunity to bring awareness that we Caribbeans are true indeed Hebrew Israelites as any other Black person who are in the diaspora. So let's get it kicked off. So Waking Up the Caribbeans, part 2. Okay, so a little about me. My name is Pamela, and I live in the Twin Island state of Trinidad and Tobago. So Trinidad is in the southern part of the Caribbean, and we are situated close to Venezuela. So we are an independent nation, and we are a republic nation. We were once governed by the Queen of England, and we got our independence in 1962. So it's a twin island state, Trinidad and Tobago. We are known for our soca. So if you have ever come to the Caribbean and hear a name like Marshall Montano is one of could be compared to the Jay-Z of the Americas. He is very good in soca, and he's very popular in the soca field. So if you like good soca music, listen to Marshall Montano. We are known for our carnival, and we will get into that more further down in the slide. So Trinidadians, sadly to know that we are known for our carnival and our revelry and our party ways, but people do not know us for our godly ways, and that is a sad thing in its own way. So when we go further down into this slide, I'm going to explain some more about this carnival.
Brother Eric said your screen is not sharing. It's just all it's showing is a whole bunch of repeats, and it's not. I guess, do you have a slideshow?
Yeah.
We're not seeing it. It's not showing it.
Okay, let me see what I could do. Okay, I'll stop sharing. Okay, so tell me what you're seeing right now.
Okay, I got you.
What you could somebody describe what they're seeing?
We can't see anything right now.
Okay, so let me do it all over again.
Just the panel.
Okay, all right.
Okay, put it back up. This time, just go ahead and click it all the way through, Sister Pamela. That's probably what's going on.
Okay, no problem. So something is loading, so be patient with me.
Okay, I might have to, you got a spot here that I'm trying to remove, but I'm scared to kick it out because it says if you're going to kick out Pamela, I don't know if you're going to kick out both of them. You see what I'm saying, Brother Eric? She got two Pamelas up here. I can kick out one, but I'm scared to. Oh, man.
One sec.
Hello, I don't kick that out. I'm about to bring her back in somehow. I don't see her. You hear me?
Oh, is it only 4 people that could talk at a time? There's
It
5.
could be more, but I don't know why it's only 4. That's probably what it is.
Mm.
Okay, I don't see it right now. She got.
You guys want me to get out for a while?
I'm gonna see if I can. Yeah,
You guys would like me to get out for a while?
I've yeah. I don't know. I think a 5th person can join. I don't think. I don't.
Let me get out. Let me get out and check if she can come in.
Hey, where I go to have that? Cause I ain't been able to do that. I know you told me last time.
I'm gonna step out, okay?
Larry.
I'm gonna step out.
There she is.
So we could try it one more time.
Yeah, try one more time. Kick you out by mistake.
That's okay.
All right, gotcha now. There we go. That's what you bringing up, right? Is that it?
Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
Yep, I see it.
Okay, so y'all could see the screen, right?
Yep.
Okay. Could you see the next slide?
Yep, I can.
Okay. It's just that now that it's up, it has some animations in it that from this angle I can't.
We can tell you what slide you're on. You want us to do that?
No, I could see the slide. It's just that the animations would not work. And yeah.
Oh shoot, that's okay. Just
Yeah, the thing is, if I go to the next slide, what I'm trying to present, because the animations is not working in this format, I wouldn't be able to show you what I need to show you. I'm so sorry about that.
It's fine. I'll send you so I could send you a video editing software because I used to have these same issues with PowerPoint, and you could basically go ahead and create videos instead that would take up for this, I guess.
Yeah. So what I did prepare was a PowerPoint slide, and that sometimes I like to do a little prep before I come on live. The PowerPoint slide has a lot of animations, and in this format, as we have it viewing, I wouldn't be able to manipulate the animation. So if you see the next slide, you'll see everything as a cluster, and that wouldn't really, show what I want to showcase at this point of time. So if we go to the next slide, what I was going to present, you cannot really see it because everything is there because it has a lot of animations.
Oh, I see what you mean.
okay, but can you go ahead and talk from that right here? You see what I'm saying?
It's kind of difficult, yeah, because there was a story. So let me ask one last question. When I was doing it the other way, were you all able to see anything?
No, we only saw the recording.
No.
Okay, so even if I try that way, I wouldn't be able to see.
Well, we didn't get to this part. We didn't get to this point at all. That's what we're saying. So if you want to, I guess if you want to try, we could see if it'll work this time.
Okay, so if I do a share screen, there are options like Windows, entire screen, and Chrome.
I'd say share. Which one did you do last time?
I did Windows, and that caused problem. If I do entire screen.
Well, when you did that, you didn't go. I think you have to click on it when you read the switch, and it didn't click. It didn't switch.
Yeah,
So
click entire
Windows, but it didn't move.
Yeah, you should do entire screen.
Okay. Tell me if you could see my entire screen.
Okay, now go to your slide. Like, put your slide on the main screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the slides.
Yep, we could see everything right now. It's about to show the PowerPoint.
Can you see anything?
Yeah, we could see your PowerPoint. If you click present at the top. Yes. Okay.
Can you see?
There we go. Yes, we could see that. Now,
Okay. Yeah.
You could
oh,
see?
yep, we could see
So
it.
if I go to the next slide, can you see the next slide?
Yep, we can.
Okay, well, thanks to the Most High. Okay, so preparation is key. We learned from this.
Yep.
Okay, so as I was saying, we'll start all over again. Waking Up the Caribbeans Part 2. So we did Part 1 last week and it was a hit. And the whole purpose of the live was to bring awareness that we Caribbeans are also Hebrew Israelites. So the emphasis and the focus were always on the American Hebrews. And sometimes as a Caribbean national, you tend to feel left out. You tend to feel like the awakening is happening, and American African Americans, they are the Israelites. And we say, but what about us? We are Israelites too. We came through the transatlantic slave trade. And the awareness is, we want to wake up everyone to what is happening and what the Most High is doing. So we just want to bring awareness and we don't want to be left out. And I know it was not intentional, but it's just that we in the background and we said, hey, remember us. We need to be amongst the awakening, amongst the African Americans and what the Most High is doing. So this is really about awareness. Okay, so a little about me. Could you see this slide?
Yes. About
Okay.
me.
All right. So a
Yes.
little about me. So I'll start all over. My name is Pamela, and I live in the Caribbean. I live in Trinidad and Tobago, which is a twin island state. And Trinidad is in the southern part of the Caribbean, and we are situated closely to Venezuela. Like I said before, Trinidad is an independent nation. We are no longer governed by the Queen of England, and we are also a republic nation. So we are free from being dependent on the Queen and when she governed us back in the 60s. So in 1962, we became an independent nation. So I was just giving you guys a little about my country, some information. Marshall Montano is, if you know about soca, he's the face of soca for the Caribbean, and he's very popular. And I was saying that he's equivalent to what Jay-Z is to you guys. Not that I'm glorifying these things, I'm just letting you know what our country has and what we are known for in the Caribbean. We are known for our carnival festivities. And as I was saying earlier, it is very sad to say people do not know us by the God we serve. They know us by our revelry, they know us by our party ways. And in the Caribbean, we like to say the word lime. Lime is like you're chilling with your friends and things like that. So our terminology for that is liming. They know us for our party ways, our fetting and revelry and so forth. That is what they know us for. And also, we are the inventors of the steel pan, Trinidad and Tobago. A lot of people don't know that. They think it's invented by Jamaicans. A man by the name of Winston Spree Simon invented steel pan in Trinidad and Tobago in the hills of Laventille. And a lot of people feel when they go to Jamaica, it is steel pan is synonymous to Jamaicans, but it's actually invented in Trinidad and Tobago. So enough about me. Well, one last thing I wanted to say is that in 2019, I was awakened to the truth that I am a Hebrew Israelite. I'll just give a brief story how I got awakened. in 2019, just before the pandemic, someone online told me that, you are Israelite. And as I told in the first part of the series, I didn't believe it because I was deep into Christianity. And as a result, when I heard that term, I rejected it. But the person didn't want to argue with me online. So they told me to read this book called Babylon to Timbuktu by Rudolph R. Windsor. And I did read the book. I was on vacation. I ordered the book and I read it. And it was so intriguing. I couldn't put down the book. So while I was in transit in the airport, I was traveling on vacation at that time. I just keep reading the book. Time I get to my destination, I finish the book around nighttime in my hotel. And when I finished that book, I was in tears. I was in tears because I was convinced at that point that the the Negroes that was brought on the transatlantic slave trades were indeed Israelites. And knowing that I was so caught up into Christianity and didn't know who I was, being in church all these years, sit down, hearing this pastor preach to me and paying tithes and grow up into Christianity and not knowing who I was. The Israelites on the pages of the book in Christianity to me was just people afar off, not knowing that the blood of Isaac, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob ran through my veins. It got me so emotional that I started to cry within that hotel room, knowing that I was indeed a Hebrew Israelite. So that is just a brief story of how I wake up to the truth. Okay, so where is the Caribbean? Now, fascinating to see, and I know it sounds it's a silly question. There are a lot of people that I have spoke to online will say, where is the Caribbean? I always heard about the Caribbean, but I don't know where it is. So I'll show a little clip. It's not very long. It's about 2 minutes long on where is the Caribbean. And I know most people on the live might already know where it is, but we want to set this video in time. So years from now, who could find this video will be able to have an understanding of what we're trying to bring out here today. So bear with me. I will want to show just a brief video for people to understand where is the Caribbean. And there are some things when I heard this guy talk about where is the Caribbean and what islands belong to the Caribbean, kind of took me back a bit, but it makes sense technically, but we'll discuss that after.
Hey, did you ever have a buddy brag to you that he just had a great Caribbean vacation down in Nassau or Bermuda? Well, no, you didn't, because the Bahamas and Bermuda are not in the Caribbean. In fact, a lot of people don't even know where the Caribbean actually is. The Caribbean islands in the Caribbean Sea reside on top of what's called the Caribbean Plate. This runs from Belize across southern Cuba, north of Haiti, Hispaniola, and Dominican Republic.
Hey, Pamela, can you turn it up a little bit?
Puerto Rico, and then down.
Hello?
Can you turn the video up a little bit, the volume?
Okay. I'll have to just bear with me.
Hey, did you ever have a buddy brag to you that he just had a great Caribbean vacation down in Nassau or Bermuda? Well, no, you didn't, because the Bahamas, a lot of people don't even know where the Caribbean actually is. The Caribbean islands in the Caribbean Sea reside on top of what's called the Caribbean Plate. This runs from Belize across southern Cuba, north of Haiti, Hispaniola, and the Dominican Republic, then crosses over the Puerto Rico Trench just north of Puerto Rico and then down to the east side of the Leeward Islands down towards Tobago. So countries such as Venezuela, Colombia, Belize, Cuba, Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and Trinidad, Tobago, all are part of the Caribbean. Of course, the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, Jamaica, and the Caymans all reside inside the Caribbean, but get just a few miles north of Puerto Rico and you're in the Atlantic. So the Bahamas, Florida, and Bermuda are actually Atlantic islands. This causes some confusion for people, especially because politically and socially, islands such as the Bahamas are virtually identical to Caribbean islands. In fact, the Bahamas are even part of certain Caribbean trade pacts. For that matter, so is Bermuda. But as far as the Caribbean or Caribbean Sea goes, they're not actually Caribbean islands. So now you have a better idea of what actually makes the Caribbean the Caribbean. If it doesn't sit on the Caribbean plate, it's not part of the Caribbean Sea. If it's not part of the Caribbean Sea, it's not actually a Caribbean island.
Okay, so were you all able to hear the video?
Yep,
Yes,
I was able to.
yes.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So let's go to the next slide. So what he was basically saying that only the islands that in the Caribbean plate are the Caribbean islands. So when we think about Bahamas and Bermuda, which we always say that it's in the Caribbean, it's technically not really Caribbean islands, but they are in a way, so to speak. So that is up for debate, but basically we know that the Caribbean islands are those little islands that form a chain off of Central America, South America, and North America, and they're divided into the Greater Antilles and the Lesser Antilles. These little islands of the sea we call the Caribbean islands. So the next slide, who are the blacks or the Negroes of the Caribbean? So that is a big question. Who are these people? And we need to get a better understanding of who are the Negroes. We must break it down to see who are the Negro people. Okay, so if we go into the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, it gives a complete explanation of who the Negro people are. So it says, Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. So we are not Ham. Negro people are not Ham. So you know they have a tendency to say we have the curse of Ham upon us. No, we are not Ham. We are the Negroes. So let's get that straight. Let's get that out of the way. So now that we know who the Negroes are, we will go to where in Deuteronomy 28:68 says that, and Yahuwah shall bring you into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto you. You shall see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, which means nobody could save us. No matter how many people rise up to say they're going to deliver us. We have the Martin Luther Kings, we have the Marcus Garveys, and all these people. Every time somebody raise up to deliver us, they always get killed. They always been pulled down, or they get rid of these people. So the Most High said that in His word, and it did came to pass. So the Most High said we were going to go back into Egypt on ships. So let us, which Egypt the Most High was referring to for our next captivity? So let us see what is Egypt he was referring to. So Egypt and America, let's do a comparison. So we are in the Americas, and people may not understand, although the Caribbean nations are independent nations and they have their own governments and prime ministers or presidents, we are in a way that we need America to survive in most things. We are dependent on America in commerce and a lot of other things. So somewhere we have a dependency for America. So we are not totally, free of not, dependent of this great nation, America. So let us look at the difference between Egypt, or let us look at the similarities between Egypt and America. So Egypt, we know, if you have ever been to Egypt, Egypt has a lot of obelisks. And if you have visited the Great Pyramids, you will see a lot of these monuments. And these monuments are supposed to be the male organ, and it's a form of curse or a defiance to God when it's erected that way. And if we look at America, in the capital state, and many areas around America, you're going to see the same obelisk. Right? So that is one example.
Sister Pamela,
Yes.
may I add, Christmas trees also represent obelisk. So like when you see everybody sticking them up in their houses, I just wanted to add on to that because my sister did bring that to my attention a while ago. So I just wanted to also tell you about that.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to the next slide. We look at Egypt, and we're going to look at America and compare again. So look at the Egyptian flag today. It has the eagle as a symbol on it, right? And let's look closer at the eagle. And if we look at the America, one of the America symbolism is the eagle. It's in your anthem. It's in a lot of your patriot figures and stuff. So there's a comparison where Egypt and America is the same thing. America is the modern day Egypt. Let's go to the next slide. Egypt and America, let's do the comparison again. So we know Egypt is known for the all-seeing eye and the pyramids, or the Eye of Horus. And if we look at the American dollar, we will see, look very closely, what do you see? You will see the all-seeing eye, and you'll see the pyramids. So there's a lot of symbolism and comparison. And we could look a little closer at it. So you'll see the all-seeing eye of Horus, and you'll see the pyramid. So with these three examples, you could tell that the Most High was speaking that America is the new Egypt, where we would be brought into captivity. So in Deuteronomy 28, verse 68, the Most High said we're going to be brought back into Egypt in ships. And in the transatlantic slave trade alone, there was 12.5 million Negro Israelites who were brought into the Americas, which includes North America, Central America, South America, and the Caribbean, make up the whole Americas. So we know of the transatlantic slave trade and the brutal transportation of the Negro Israelites to the Americas. Some of our ancestors didn't make it to the Americas because some of us died. A lot of us died just during the transportation alone, because it was very brutal the way they treated us. And we'll go into more depth in the other slides. Okay, so we Negroes in the Caribbean also match the curses of Deuteronomy 28, 15 to 68. And this is the whole purpose of the live, to showcase the Caribbeans as part of the curses and part of the blessings and part of what the Most High is doing right now in this awakening. So we are the people, and we're going to go through like a case study and study to see how the curses match to us as the Caribbean people. Okay, so what are some of the curses? So in Deuteronomy 28, they did say we would be brought back to Egypt in ships, and we, the Caribbeans, were part of the transatlantic slave trade, and we were brought here into ships as well. And they came to the west coast of Africa, where the Jews were living at that time, and I believe they knew who we are, and they would target us. They didn't target the other black nations. They target us as a people because they knew who they wanted to enslave, and they knew who they wanted to bring to the Caribbean islands. So they came for us, bringing and fulfilling prophecy that we will be taken back into Egypt with ships. So if we look at the second picture, when the Africans saw the ships, at this point, when I was watching this picture, I was saying to myself, if he only knew, he would just run for his life. Run and don't look back, because it was the beginning of sorrows for us as a people. So the Hamites were part and parcel of our enslavement, because they was the ones who handed us over to these um, white merchants to sell us into slavery, all fulfilling the prophecies of Deuteronomy 28. So we were taken as a people and we were enslaved. We were brutally treated like worse than animals. No human being should have went through what we went through as a people. And as I said previously, when we were brought onto the ships, we were treated inhumanely. They packed us like sardines. Imagine being in the bottom of a ship where you're going to defecate on yourself, you're going to wee on yourself. Everything was done in the bottom and the bowels of that ship. So you could imagine the stench, could imagine the illnesses, what we went through as a people. Not even a dog would survive such inhumane treatment. They treated us so badly, and all was fulfilling the curses of Deuteronomy 28. It shows this slide, this picture shows us how they packed us, like I said, sardines. It's so sad to see as a descendant of the slaves. Just watching these images is very hard to watch. And it should give us a reminder of what our ancestors went through because of their disobedience. So the Most High said in Deuteronomy, we will be taken back to Egypt. And I want to read some scripture verses. So Deuteronomy 28:48. And I want to read that for you all. So Deuteronomy 28:48 says, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. We are the only people who fit the description of these things. We were the people that they put a yoke of iron around our necks, like if we were dogs. These irons were so heavy, even the very skin on our necks were taken off like it was abrasive. And imagine, I saw a video once on YouTube where people were visiting some of these buildings that the slaves were taken away from in Ghana. And they had some of these iron neck bands still there. And they put it on one of the tourists around his neck. And it was so heavy for him to keep his head straight. So just imagine the brutality as of what we went through as a people. We didn't even deserve such wickedness. It was so wicked that we had to go through all of these things. So again, in Deuteronomy 28:48, it reads, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. So the question remains, do we fit these curses? Yes, we do. Okay, next slide. We were treated, again, very badly. The sexual exploitation that happened to our women, our men, and our children is beyond words. We were raped, our men were raped. Yes, our men were raped. Our children were raped, and our women were raped. So, Deuteronomy 28, again, I'll read some verses that shows that we suit the description as well. So let's go to Deuteronomy 30. Deuteronomy 30 says, thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather thy grapes thereof. So this is the description. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. And we know during slavery, we could not say no to our slave masters. Anytime he wants you, you couldn't say no. He could have you like any common dog. He could just choose you on the plantation, and you are the person he picked today, and they could have what they want. Many women were raped just walking home. Slaves were walking home to their huts, been raped, and they could not say anything. There was nobody they could report it to. They could not go to the police. They just have to take what happened to them, and they couldn't say anything. And this is one of the descriptions of what the Most High said we would have gone through as a people when we disobeyed him and break our covenant with him. He said these things would have come upon us as a people. This also happened to us in the Caribbean. So I'd like to read verse 32 as well. And the word of the Most High says in Deuteronomy 28:32, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. Look at the second image. When they took our children away from us to sell them, we had no say, we had no power, we had no might. They took the children away from us. We could not revolt, we could not do anything. And this is what the Most High said. If we had to, when we turn away from his covenant, when we break the covenant and the laws and the statutes and the commandments of the Most High, he said these things would come upon us as a people. Look at the second image. It did happen to us. Visualize in your mind what our ancestors went through when our babies were taken away, when our daughters were taken away, when our sons were taken away from us. We had no say, and we never saw them. For the most part, we never laid eyes upon them again. I'd like to read verse 41. Thou shalt begat sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. Did these things happen to us? Yes, it happened to us in the Caribbean as well. We were separated as a family. So we did fulfill some of these curses as well as Caribbean people. Next slide. They brought us to the Caribbean, as I explained in the first live last week on Waking Up the Caribbeans, that our American brothers and sisters, when they were brought to when they're brought to the United States of America, the commodity they worked on was cotton. But in the Caribbean, we were on sugar plantations. Some of us worked on tobacco plantations. Some of us worked on I don't know if it's not coming to mind, but we were on a different plantation. But the most commodity we produce in the Caribbean was sugar, and making the sugar in itself was a very brutal thing. The sugar cane was very heavy compared to the cotton, and I'm not downplaying what the Americans went through. I'm just explaining what we went through. The sugarcane itself, guarding all that sugarcane was very heavy. And then the process of turning it into sugar in the mills was also a brutal task. The heat of processing the sugar, and again, as I explained in the first live last week, while feeding the shoot with the sugarcane to squeeze out the juice, if your hand get caught in those rolling pins, there's a man there with a machete to chop your hand off, because if they don't, your whole body will go into it. And you are a commodity to your so-called masters, and they don't want to lose slaves because they want more hands on deck to do their work to make them rich. So they always had somebody there with a cutlass or a machete to cut your hand off in case you get caught into those rolling pins. So it was a brutal task. So we worked day up, day in, day, night, sundown on these sugarcane plantations, and it was a hard job. And in another thing to say, in these sugarcane plantations and cutting the cane, you will encounter snakes. So you could get bitten by a snake. So you know snakes love living in these tall grasses and these weeds. So a lot of our people have been bitten by snakes just working on the sugarcane plantations alone. So I'd like to read another verse, Deuteronomy 28, verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed away. So our labors will be in vain. Everything we worked hard for on these plantations was not for our benefits, but it was for the people who enslaved us. It was for their enrichment, to give them a better life than us. So we worked hard with no pay, and this fulfills some of the curses. I'd like to read verse 65, Deuteronomy 28:65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy feet have rest. But the Lord shall give thee a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. So we work from sun up to sundown. We had no ease. They didn't care if you're sick. They didn't care if you're young. They didn't care if you're old. You had to work those plantations. You didn't care if you had a belly ache that morning. You have to get up and work. And this is what we went through. Again, do we fit the curses of Deuteronomy 28? Yes, we do. They treated us so bad. There's no words to describe the treatment we got as a people. Some of these images are going to be provocative, but we need to tell the story. Our men were raped, which you know as buck breaking. They will take the most strongest African man who will serve as a threat to them, who might want to revolt or who might be the one to oppose them. And to bring this person down to nothing, they will rape you in front of your families. They did that in the Caribbean as well. As sad as it is and how evil as it is, it needs to be told. We cannot shy away from what happened to us as a people. They had us breastfeeding their own babies. We'll have to put our babies aside. And if the madam comes to her babies crying, we have to give priority to the white people baby and nurse them and put our babies aside. These things happen in the Caribbean as well. The punishment was inhumane. If we did anything that is not pleasing to them, they will find different ways and means to treat us badly and have fun of it. It's like it brings them pleasure to see us in pain. We were beaten daily, many of us. They didn't care for the young or the old. And the licks that we got, the beatings we got, it mutilated most of our bodies. It happened to us in the Americas, and it happened to us in the United States of America, and it happened to us as well in the Caribbean. As sad as these images are to watch, we need to watch at them. So I'd like to read Deuteronomy 28, verse 25. Bear with me. And the Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them. And thou shalt be removed unto all the kingdoms of the earth. Verse 26. The Lord will smite thee with botch of Egypt, and with emeralds, and with scabs, and with itch, and whereas thou canst be healed. 39.
Hey, Pamela, can I bring out a verse really quickly?
Yeah.
So I see there's like a troll, a ghost kind of texted me. He said there's like a troll in chat, and he brought out something about Esther. Let me see. He brought something
Yeah.
about
Yeah, I asked
Esther.
him to come live a couple times. He wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Now I went to his channel, asked him he wanted to do a live debate on who the people. We know he ain't gonna do that.
Did he delete all his text? Oh yeah.
Well, when I blocked him, he might have deleted them because he wasn't
Okay.
coming live.
Yeah, he was bringing out Esther, saying that they shall not forget this for all their generations. That's Jeremiah 17, which briefly happened. I think was Jeremiah before or during Esther, because this is probably during the time of Babylon. So, well, anyways, it's around there. This is Jeremiah chapter 17. The sin of Judah, which Jew is a short abbreviation of Judah, is written with a pen of iron and with the point of a diamond. It is graven upon the table of their heart and upon the horns of your altars. Whilst their children remember their altars and their groves by the green trees upon the high hills, their pagan shrines, of course. So that means altars. Verse 3, O my mountain, which is my own people, in the field I will give thy substance and all thy treasure to the spoil, and thy high places for sin throughout all thy borders. And thou, even thou thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, and which shall burn forever. So,
Yes.
an answer to that dude's twisted understanding of scripture, which I mean, I can't really blame him. God didn't really give them the understanding of scriptures in the first place. If you really want to get technical, he's wrong. It does say in Esther that we shall not discontinue from. What that means is it should be a holiday that we should look to. Basically, one that we will not throw away. It's like pretty much it's like the Sabbath. It's continuous. But we even discontinued from the Sabbath when we came into slavery. So
You're exactly right. Exodus 31, 13, 16 speaks of that. It's a perpetual law we should keep. But let's don't get off subject. Let's Sister Pamela finish this right quick.
yeah,
Okay.
my bad.
All right. So we move. So yes, we are the people. We went through these things, the brutal beatings and so forth. We did also went through this in the Caribbean. Next slide. Okay. So as a people, I'm sure we recognize that fellow on the screen there. Because of our disobedience, the Most High left us to serve other gods. And as we know in the Caribbean and the America and worldwide, people tend to worship this false imagery of the Messiah, And these are one of the curses that follow us as a people. Because we broke that covenant with the Most High, when we were in the land of, when He delivered us via the Exodus and we were in Egypt, and He made a covenant with us as a people, and that blood was sprinkled upon us, we were in covenant with the Most High forever. And when we broke those laws, statutes, and commandments, these are the things that befall us. Instead of worshiping the Most High Yah, we were driven to serving other gods. We serve Mary and we think she's a deity. She's not. Instead of serving the Most High Yah, we serve this image as well. In the Caribbean, we are famous for serving, it's like a Black Mary called Lavina de la Pastora, something like that it's called. I never worship it, so I don't know. But it's a common thing in the Caribbean here where they carry this statue and they worship it and they transport it, and it is something precious to the Catholics. Also in the Caribbean, we do a lot of voodoo, and we call it obia. It's a lot of witchcraft, and the Most High did never want us as a people to be entangled with these type of things. He never wanted us to dabble in obia and witchcraft, as the Americans call it, and the Africans call it juju. It's all the same thing, it's just a different name. We have turned away from the Most High and we joined Islam and serve Muhammad instead of the Most High God. And this as in itself is a curse that came upon us as a people. So Deuteronomy 28:64 says, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth unto another, and thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." Does this describe us as a people? Yes. This is one of the curses, that we forsake the Most High Yah and we turned to the other way and started serving other idols. As biblical was he mentioned earlier in this live, that we also turned away to things instead of celebrating the Yah's most holy days. We celebrate things like Christmas, and we know what the word says about Christmas in Jeremiah, about cutting down a tree and decorating it with silver and gold. These are not our ways as a people. This tree represents Baal worship, and Baal is one of the gods that the Most High hated. And seeing that the people who are called by his name bow down to beggarly elements such as Baal worship, disguised in Christianity to make it seem like it's something worthy of celebrating. We're not even supposed to be celebrating Christmas. He said when we break bread to do that in remembrance of him. So we don't need to celebrate a birthday of the Messiah to say we remembering him. Think about it. The world hates the God that we know, but yet they celebrate his birthday. Or the deception. Don't be fooled. We are turned away as a people to celebrating beggarly things like Easter, which is the god of Ishtar. We bake cakes in her name when we do the hot cross buns in the Caribbean. And a lot of Caribbean folks who are online will know about the hot cross buns. We bake cakes in her name. We search for eggs, as they also do in America. This is not our way as a people. This is pagan ways that the Most High forbid us to celebrate. But it has been disguised and packaged that our people have been accepting it and thinking it's okay. And the children that the Most High has blessed us with, we have them searching for eggs and all these nonsense, when we should be teaching them the laws, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High Yah. These are curses that came upon us as a people. Remember at the beginning of the slide, I say I would go into more depth about Carnival. Carnival is one of our ways in the Caribbean. We celebrate Carnival. Trinidad is known as the land of Carnival and Calypso. And although I will admit that the artistry and the design of the costumes are beautiful, but the whole holiday and the ways and the revelry is very evil. And we will go into a little depth of what we have been led away as a people in the Caribbean to serve. So in the Caribbean, we use the word bacchanal. And bacchanal is derived from the word Bacchus, the god of Bacchus. And the god of Bacchus is a pagan god of wine and of revelry. So I went on the internet and I did some pulling up. So the word Bacchus, the Latin word is Bacchanalia, the feast of Bacchus, and it's the god of wine, and it's from ancient Greek. What is bacchanal? Like in Trinidad, if you want to use the word bacchanal, instead of confusion, you'll say, you like bacchanal, eh? Why you like so much bacchanal? Instead, you'll say things like, you like confusion. You'll say, you like bacchanal, eh? That is how we speak in the Caribbean. The word bacchanal, in our way we use it, it means confusion. And maybe some other Caribbean islands, they might have another meaning for it, but I'm just explaining what it means for us in Trinidad. So the word bacchanal in Greece, or bacchanalia, also called Dionysia in Greco-Roman religion, any of the several festivals of Bacchus, the wine god, they probably originated as rites of fertility gods. So you're getting the picture what this god is about, so-called god. Definitions of bacchanal, which is a word we use in the Caribbean a lot: a wild gathering, debauchery, drunken revelry, riot, saturnalia. Wasn't Christmas called Saturnalia once upon a time? Revelry, unrestrained. So this is what happens every year in the Caribbean. Carnival. Now I know these pictures are provocative, but I have to tell the story. We revel on the streets for 2 days, half naked, drinking, sexual exploitations. We don't care anything. We'll spend our last dollar for a costume. That is how we parade. This is what the world knows us for. Our revelry and debauchery as a people. This was not what the Most High wanted for us as a people. Now, coming to think of it, doesn't this remind you of something? Let's look at the other side. You remember in Exodus 32, verse 6 to 8. What did the people do after the Most High delivered us out of Egypt? And they rose up early in the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink, rose up to play. Doesn't that remind you of Carnival? And the Lord said unto Moses, go, get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way, which I have commanded them. They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed themselves and said, these be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. When our people in Trinidad and the other islands celebrate Carnival, they don't want to hear about God. This is our God. We dress half naked, we drink, we don't know ourselves on the streets for 2-3 days, we parading, drinking, drunken. On a normal day, if you ask a Trini, well, I could talk about the Trinis to walk from here to the next end of the road, they don't want to do it. But Carnival Day, they will jump and chip and dance and drink miles and don't even know the dance and drink and dance whole night and their feet hurting, not knowing the distance they walk, when in normal conditions they wouldn't do it, because they are driven by that spirit of Bacchus that we should not be celebrating as a people. Doesn't that remind you how the people were getting on in the desert? Now, I couldn't get an image of a black people, but this is all I could have found. It reminds me a lot about that. Even in Carnival, we have golden calves or imagery of these things because the people portray life and whatever. The people who create the Carnival, they will have things like these, and they will just give themselves state on that particular day, the Carnival, when they parade on the streets for the couple of days. So you see, as a people, we have turned away from the Most High and gone after our own ways. So the curses that he said that will come upon us, we no longer run after the things after the Most High, but we run after debauchery and so on. Another thing that happened to us as a people, and we are almost there to the end of the slides, is that a lot of sickness as a people come upon us. As Afro-Caribbeans, we are susceptible to a lot of illnesses, and we are leading in a lot of illnesses. I'm not saying other races do not get these illnesses, but if you look at the statistics, most of us as a people are diabetic as a people, because in the Caribbean, we eat a lot of starches, and we eat a lot of shrimp, we eat a lot of pork, things that the Most High told us not to eat. We have a dietary law that we totally ignore, and as a result, these consumptions and illnesses has overtaken us as a people. In the Caribbean, we hear a lot of people, our people, Afro-Caribbeans, die of strokes, and as we are leading in that in the Caribbean. In the Caribbean, we also fall prey to high blood pressure as Afro-Caribbeans. Again, I'm not saying other races don't get these illnesses, but why are we leading in it? It all fits the curses of Deuteronomy. As women, Black women, we suffer from something called uterine fibroids, and we don't understand why mostly Black women suffer from this. White women are very low in numbers and other races, but we as women, Black women of the Caribbean and in the diaspora, we suffer from uterine fibroids a lot. And we are leading in that area in this disease. And if you don't know what it is boils in your womb, where it could cause infertility for a woman. It will give you painful menses. And this is what we suffer as women and as a people in the diaspora. So I want to read a script here. Bear with me. In Deuteronomy 61. And every sickness, Deuteronomy 28, verse 61, and every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. Verse 35. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed from the sole of thy feet unto the top of thy head. Verse 22. Sorry that I'm going backwards. The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption and with a fever and with an inflammation and with an extreme burning and with a sword and with blasting and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. 21. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee until he has consumed thee from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it. So as a people, as Afro-Caribbeans, we are leading in some of the lifestyle diseases in this region. And it's because of the curses. We are the people of the book. Okay. One of the curses as well, we will call by derogatory names. We will call as a byword. And these are some of the bywords we are called in the Caribbean. Well, Haitians, Afro-Cubans, Guyanese, Trinis. We will call different names, but I will give some of the names that I remember growing up as a child, what I have been called and what our people have been called in school. Sometimes they call us Creole. They don't call us Israelites. Sometimes they call us picky head. Picky head, banana, rice, and chani. The children used to call, the Indian children used to call us that in school. Picky head means our kinky woolly hair. They will call us picky head because they find our hair was not beautiful. So they'll call us picky head. And some Caribbeans could relate to this terminology. They'll call us blackie, blackie, pokey, penny a pound, something, something, run me down. I can't even remember what it was. But they'll call us terms like blackie, pokey instead of Israelite because they don't know who we are. But the Most High was not lying. He said we'll become a byword. And these are the words that I remember growing up. And they still use it today. They'll call us darkies. Hey, darkie. They wouldn't call you by Israelite or Hebrew. Yeah, they did not know who we are. Some of them do not know, but some do know who we are. They'll call us darkies in a condescending way. Oh, a popular one, monkey. Yes, they call us monkey. We have to face it. These are the things they call us. The Most High didn't lie. What about the word mommy? Now, let me give you a little history on this word. In Trinidad, we call our mothers mommy, not knowing it was a derogatory word. We call our mothers instead of mommy. Some of the Americans will call their mothers mommy. And I know it's a word that the Americans use in the South as a mommy. And you know what is a mommy? A mommy is somebody considered as a black slave woman who do a lot of work and talk very like they're not intelligent or they're very nurturing. They take care of all the little ones. But in the Caribbean, that is what we call our mother, mommy. And we never knew that it was something not good. It's not a good terminology to call your mother. But this is what we call our mother mostly in the Caribbean. I don't know for the other islands, but in Trinidad, if you come here and you hear somebody call their mother mommy, don't be surprised. That is how we've been taught. And we know it's not a good word. And the biggest thing they like to call us in the Caribbean is star baby. And there was even a story called Tar Baby they had in our reading books in school as like a folklore. So imagine they were making, under the colonial days, my mother told me about this. Imagine they're making mockery of us, teaching us about Tar Baby in our school books, which is a mockery to us as a people. So don't we fit the curses of Deuteronomy 28? So the scripture says, verse 37, Deuteronomy 28, verse 37. It says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. So it did come to pass. Again, the Most High, his word never fails. His promises are yes and amen. And they did call us everything under the sun except Israelites. Okay. Another thing we suffered in the Caribbean is we as a people, all the other races will own businesses. All the other races will be above. They will prosper financially. So we'll see the Chinese will just come into the country and they set up a shop 1 day, 2 days, 3 days time. They have their own business, they have their own food business, they have their own supermarket. The Indians will come in and have their own businesses. They have mechanic shops, they have food places, they have hotels. and the Caucasians, they will own everything. They'll have all the businesses, control all these things in society, and they'll always be on top as a people. And we will be living as Afro-Caribbeans in this nation for years, and all the nations will come in and they will always ascend financially quicker than us. Now, again, I'm not saying that we don't own anything or we don't have any businesses, but the norm is the other races will advance quickly and further and faster than us when we are still reaching out and asking for help. And these are part of the curses. So the Bible did speak about that. Deuteronomy 28, verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Verse 43 reads, and the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. So it fulfills the curses. The other nations tend to prosper more quicker and faster than us as a people. Not that we don't have the same innovation or anything. It's just that the curses were upon us as a people. And these things did fulfill. Even in the Caribbean, we'll see, as I explained, the other races will come and have businesses and money, and we as a people still struggling beneath. Okay, so are we not the people? So the conclusion of the matter is, and we look at all of the different clues and all the different curses. Well, some of them, those are not all the curses that we went through as a people in the Caribbean. But the conclusion of the matter is, we are the children of Israel. We are the Hebrews of Deuteronomy 28. We are the people of the Bible, the people of the book. Our past, our present, our history is in those books. And no one could take that away from us because we are who the Most High says we are. Hallelujah. So now that we have identified that the Caribbeans are indeed Israelites, what is the next step? Bring awareness. We need to bring awareness. We need to wake our people up. We need to start including us and saying that the Americas or the African Americans, the Caribbeans, or whoever in the diaspora are part of what the Most High is doing. The awakening is for all of us, not for one particular group. We have to bring inclusion. So when the people in the Caribbean and the Israelites in the Caribbean hear this, they will know that we are Israelites, and they'll go start research and dig deep to find out who they are. It took one person to tell me who I was, and the person was not even American. The person was an African from Nigeria, and I didn't believe it until they recommended that book, and I went and read it and realized who I was, or who I am. We need to bring awareness, and that is the purpose of the lives. And we're going to have a part 3 where we're going to show how we're going to bring awareness. Each one, teach one. We have to pass on this message that you, Black person of the Americas, of the diaspora, of the Caribbean, and all the people who have been taken in the transatlantic slave trade, you are indeed Hebrew Israelites, and we need to come back to the laws, the statutes, and the commandments of the Most High Yah, forsaking all other gods, and keep his commandments and get back in right standing and covenant of the Most High. This is what we have to teach. This is what we have to proclaim. We have to be our brother's keeper. And this is how we're going to bring the awakening. This is how the awakening is going to happen. The Most High word, once it goes out, he will bring the increase, and he will bring us back because the awakening has begun. Pray. Yes, pray. We as a people, we need to continue to pray and ask the Most High to open the eyes of our understanding of our people who are still asleep. We have to continue to pray for our brothers and sisters. Again, we are our brother's keeper. We have to daily keep seeking his face for this awakening. The word of God declares that these in Ezekiel, that these 37, I believe, that these dry bones will live again. And so indeed, it shall live, and we shall declare the glories of the Most High God. And in closing, yes, we are one family, the Caribbeans, the Americans, the entire diaspora. It's just that they dropped us off early in the Caribbean, but we are still the same people. We may be separated by islands or nations, by the accents and culture that have been changed to time, but we are one people and we need to band together. We are stronger as a unit and we are weaker as separate entities. So when we band together as a people, declaring the glories of the Most High Yah, then when we come as a fist, we will make a great impact. Thank you, everybody, for listening to my slide. And may the Most High God bless and keep you all.
All right, all right. Like to say, well done, well done. Good job, Sister Pamela. She's a perfectionist. Good job.
Thank you.
That right there was a good history, because a lot of us, like me, I'm one of the ones think I know everything. And there's a lot of stuff I didn't know about the Caribbeans that you brought out. So that's something that's very new to me. And yes, next week we're gonna have a panel. So right now, Sister Pamela, can you take them slides off so I can get Ralph Wolf back in here?
Hey, Ibri, could you add me on Facebook, by the way? I don't know if you have a Facebook, account or anything.
Did it come off?
Yeah, they off.
Okay, all right.
All right, so before we start, I'm on like I said, by 10, I want to be out because I got to get up really early in the morning, y'all. I'm still working for Esau. But I know everybody got something they want to say. So only thing I want to say is that Sister Pamela, that was a good job. And yes, we need a speaker, y'all, more. Next week, supposed to have a round table. So we know anybody from the Caribbeans, let them know to come on same time. What's that back channel? Back in the day, I don't know if y'all my age, but we used to be it's a same time, same channel. But anyway, same time next week. Y'all know in the Caribbeans that can come on and do a panel how they're gonna figure out how to start waking up Caribbeans from what Sister Pamela and Ralph Wolf said last week, that their people are really lost. We think so-called African Americans are lost. They are really lost. So after saying that, I just started from there. Brother Eric, no, you've been on, you ain't saying nothing. You can start and y'all can flow around.
Is anybody talking?
Anybody talking? Well, you go ahead and start, Brother.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Sister Pamela, and shalom to everybody in the chat. Thank you for that presentation.
Hey, Sister Pam, I'm shalom to you and shalom to everybody in the chat. Sister Pam, do you have a YouTube channel?
No.
Oh, that slide is like really that slide thing was really good, man.
Thank you.
That was really good. I was saying, man, you could have that thing on a YouTube channel just going all day.
Thank you. Most High bless. May he be praised.
My goodness, that was good, man. I was just saying, like, man, I might even use that video when I'm going out there with my TV. I'm showing the public stuff, just let that run, in the public and let them sit and watch it. It's really good.
Praise the Most High.
Yep.
I would like to say that was very nice. I love the representation of the Caribbean people because I'm Haitian myself. So to see that you're repping Caribbeans was something refreshing because people overlook certain Caribbean islands, especially. I mean, I'm probably not gonna lie, Haiti's not all that overlooked, but still, it's kind of thrown in the background when we're talking about black people. Most times they kind of just reference Bantu or the Negroes in America, and that's kind of it. But we're kind of like God said, we'll be to the islands of the sea as well, not just on big fat land masses, or land masses. So that was nice, very nice.
Islands of the Sea. You talking about Isaiah 11, right? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
But Ibri, if you could send me your Facebook, I guess, I don't know, private chat me your Facebook username so I can add you. No, because I have Pamela and Kadar, but I don't have you.
Well, he's on my channel, Biblical.
Okay. All right. Cool.
It's pretty much my name, basically.
All right.
Just type in my name. Shalom, Brother Ralph, and to you too, Biblical. Hope y'all doing well.
Yeah.
Well, I can complain, but who's listening?
Well,
hey, Brother Ralph, you like to got me in trouble on Facebook.
Say again?
You like to got me in trouble on Facebook.
I got in trouble on Facebook.
You or your wife, one of y'all like got me in trouble on Facebook.
What happened?
I put on, I'm in a relationship. I put me and my lady friend up. And it says, is that a Caribbean woman? It's from Philly.
That was my wife.
I'm just kidding. Y'all ain't get me in trouble.
That was my wife, man.
Oh, you tell your wife she like to got me in trouble then.
Did you hear that? You almost got the brother in trouble. But Brother Ibri almost got me in trouble.
Oh my gosh, I heard it. He said, Shalom, Sister Pamela. I heard it.
Brother Raph and Sister Pamela.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, guys. Well, I do have to leave in a couple minutes, but I was going to say, so I have a sect in Atlanta, me and a couple other Hebrews. We kind of go and basically we do pretty much exorcisms on people's houses. We've done a couple so far. Right now, one time one of our friends, he was having, his house wasn't like, there's no such thing as a haunted house. It's just like whether there's devils in there or not, and he had one, so we had to go in there and get it out. And what people fail to understand is it's not just like it's a lot when it comes to the Bible. It's not just the natural realm that natural world that we're in, but it's also the spiritual world, if you guys get what I'm trying to say.
Let's see. Yeah, I agree with you, and everybody on here know that.
Yep.
Most definitely, it is exactly that. But one thing I'm gonna say to you, you need to do a recording. So I would like to see that.
Yeah, somebody just tried to basically say it was fake. Somebody tried to say he's completely off. He thinks the blacks were always in America and they're Israelites. He just thinks of a lot of random stuff.
Yeah.
Tried to basically denounce us on it, and he said he wants to go next time. But the issue with that is that you could literally put yourself in danger playing with those things. They're not something that you play with. You could end up getting possessed, hurt, anything else. It's like devils are not something. They're real and they're strong as heck, so they're not something to play with. But dude, he's black from what I can tell, but he's trying to be funny, basically.
Yeah.
So,
He better let them know the truth.
Yeah, but I'll get some recordings for you.
Yeah, please do. And also, I'm gonna send you my email. You can email me back, and we're gonna talk about that. Brother Eric, I'll let him know what we was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Sister Pamela, I'll let Biblical know about that. So we got to get together. I'm pretty sure y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And get that done. So I think it's gonna be good.
Yep. Got
Brothers
it.
and sisters, I just want to ask if you don't mind, to keep us in prayer. You know, we just our financial situation here is just like really bad. You know, so just keep us in prayer and that the Most High open some doors for us or some windows. Any way that we can actually change our financial situation, that our financial situation can be changed. Thank you.
All right, all right.
Amen.
All right, amen. Sister Pamela, you want to start on the prayer now?
Yeah.
Well, go ahead and pray. Let's pray right now.
Heavenly Father and God, we thank you for what you are doing for brother and his wife. You know that you have brought them to this country and you are able to sustain them. We know that you are the Most High God and your hand is not shortened that you cannot do anything for your people. We know that you are able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we may ask or think. And I pray that you open doors for our brother. I pray you bless him. Open a door to bless him financially. Open a door where he's lacking in anything, any wanting in anything, that God is going to provide. You are Jehovah Jireh. You are our provider. You are our God. And we call upon you, knowing that you are able to grant us the desires of our heart. Remember him. Remember him today and make a way where there seemed to be no way. In the name of the Yahshua Mahashiach. Amen.
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 Hallelujah.
Amen.
I'm sorry, brother. I just felt led to do it right then and there.
Shalom, Tommy.
Hope that was okay.
Thanks
Shalom,
so
biblical.
All right. Shalom, Kadar. Shalom, Pamela. Shalom, I'm
Raph,
gonna call you. Can I call you Wolf?
just say Raph.
Oh, Raph. Shalom, Raph.
Oh.
And Shalom, Ibri. I added you on Facebook, by the way. So I'll.
Okay.
And I like,
Shalom.
Shalom. I like the people to know that we're gonna get biblical back on here. He's young and he's bringing it. And don't forget Ibri's channel. He be bringing the stuff. I think he gonna do something very interesting soon because I sent him something. He talking about. I thought you should bring that out. I said no. I sent it to you for you to bring it out.
There you go.
I think he's going to do something very, very good. Look, he talking about you should bring. I said no. I sent it to you for you to bring it out.
Man, that was a nice piece of info though. We gonna deal with that.
Yeah.
Biblical channel. Do you have a channel on YouTube with videos and stuff?
Well, I am co-partnering with Negroes Only. They have a playlist for me, but no, I don't have my own channel.
All right, Negroes Only.
Yep. It's kind of hard to find their channel actually. I'm not going to lie.
Tell you what, them boys be bringing it on there.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah, they do. I was about to say I could get their link, but I can't really send it through here. So, yeah. And it's kind
Pamela,
of
there you go, Pamela.
Pamela, do you associate with any group in Trinidad? No. Specifically? Nope.
IUIC is terrible. Do not go there. Oh my
No, I would not.
I came out of that.
Straight up.
It's terrible. Oh my gosh, they hate black people.
If I go to IUIC and I leave them, I go on somebody's channel, I'm gonna show my hand. That's all.
Oh, I'm not gonna show my face. I don't like them.
I had to mess with you, biblical.
No, I'm not. No.
Man, I don't know.
It's terrible. It is terrible.
I don't know. I really believe, and I know a lot of people will say, don't talk to them anymore because they know what they're doing is wrong. But I believe that, these people should really, not other people should make time for them. They should really make some time to actually discuss that 12 tribes chart with the rest of us. They should really make some time. And I think it's a coward move that they've been away from everybody else, man.
Yeah, it's like enforcing that white image during colonial times. It's exactly what they're doing in Africa. They're going, IUIC is going with that chart and enforcing it on Africans. They're enforcing it on Haitians.
Well, but only thing about it, now the videos I seen, they don't say nothing about it in Africa. Like they scared. The videos I seen.
Yeah, they don't say nothing about it in Africa. Besides, in most of the beginning of the videos, Nathaniel actually says that the Hebrews are black. They've always been black. They will always be black. And I say, like, okay, so where do you guys bring the Mexicans in?
Yeah, I've already said Deuteronomy 4:27. I think that's too many people. That's like what, 3.8 billion people. If you add all of those those Hispanic, well, those I forgot what they're called. Mestizos. If you add all of them in with our numbers, it's just way too many people. And God said we would be the fewest among every nation, not half of the dang world or a quarter of the world. So yeah, that's wrong.
Because does anybody know about the history of black people in Mexico?
I've seen documentaries.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
the entire history.
documentaries, and it's wow. I mean, just recently, just I think a year or two, 2018 or 2017 sometime, they actually, some of the Latin American countries actually started including, you know, black people in the constitution.
And their census.
2016,
Yeah. And I was surprised. I was like, wow.
I had to do a crucial research on that because I ain't gonna say who, but I was in a different group. I'm pretty sure you know who I used to be with.
I remember.
So I did a crucial research on that and brought it out how South America had more slaves than North America. And then who was the slaves owner? Them Mexicans. They took us crazy, man. I'm telling you, they are sick by saying they are our people. They was the slave owners. Crazy.
I've seen independent Hebrew, like in a couple minutes I gotta leave, but I've seen independent Hebrew Israelites say the most ignorant stuff about black men and black women, calling them negritos. He called us you I don't want to get his flag, but negritos and negrita women. He said negrito Negro women. You guys need to listen to this Northern Kingdom sister here. She's so righteous and stuff. I'm like, bruh, am I literally listening to a praising of Hispanic people basically as the 10 tribes of Israel over black people? Like he put so many black people down. I was like, then why are you worshiping her? It makes no sense. I'll give you guys the video where he was doing this. It was pretty sad.
Please do that.
I want to chime in and say one thing. Let's call, if a pen is black, let us call it black. If a pen is red, let us call it red. The reason why they want to include these people is because they want the women. That is
Yep.
Yeah, and they're just getting all of their women. It's just sad.
All right, Biblical, please send me that because I got something coming out called The Agenda of the Black Man.
Oh, I have.
These brothers don't make statements without something behind what they say. Trust me.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have a video, actually, a video coming out soon on Negroes Only called "The Whitening of the Seed of Israel," or the attempt of whitening of the seed. Let me put it like that. It's just basically the ploy I've been seeing on commercials, things like that. Just what I've been what I've been peeping, usually in society today.
But one thing I want to say, Sister Pamela and Ralph, I don't hear a whole lot of that going on in the Caribbean of what we have in America. Is that true?
Say again.
I don't hear a whole lot of that going on in the Caribbean as these guys trying to basically white out Israel like they're doing in America.
Well, the only way they could do that is by giving foreign women to them.
Yeah, they have to do that. But yeah, like we said before, the Caribbean is like 99.999% Hebrew.
Yeah.
I got moved to the Caribbean then.
A lot of people running to Africa, you know, in the midst of the Hamites and everything. The Caribbean is right next door.
Yeah.
You understand? But because, you know, they don't like including us, you know, so I guess
we're kind of segregated anyways.
Yeah.
Like Haiti and Dominican Republic, I'm Haitian. Those Dominicans don't want nothing to do with us, and glad by me, we don't want nothing to do with them.
Check this. I did research on that.
The history of the Caribbean with Haiti.
The
Haiti has
DR.
a
Go
really
ahead.
bad thing with the Caribbean. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just saying Haiti has a really bad name in the Caribbean. A really bad name. Like a lot of the Caribbean people actually hate Haitians by default.
Wow.
Yeah.
They believe that automatically, you know, you're Haitian, you're evil, you know.
Wow.
And
All right, Biblical. You got to do something on Haitian then, Biblical. You got to bring it out.
Yeah.
You got
We
to do
well,
something
the
on
fact
Haitian,
of the matter is that Haiti actually helped liberate like a lot of those freaking countries in the Caribbean and Colombia, Guatemala, Mexico, Panama. It just helped everybody. It even helped Greece and during the Ottoman Empire, which is weird because Haiti's all the way on the left side of the world. So
But-
it's like Haiti actually fought a lot of these wars. There's like a regional power during the time of the 1800s.
I-
but it's
You're
not
right. Sister Pamela, you had something you want to say about that? How that in the Caribbean, y'all not getting like what we getting in America, making us say it, thinking, trying to make our people think that Spaniards are Israelites. It's real funny when I think about it, but y'all not get that. Y'all don't get a lot of that in Trinidad.
Not really. I think Caribbeans most of all need to know who they are. So we don't really have that back and forth on that topic. But that's basically it. So
what was the question?
Y'all don't get a lot like, you know, we get these camp guys trying to say these white Hispanics are now Afro Hispanics are Israelites. I'm not talking about them.
Yeah,
White Hispanics.
Yeah.
Our
Thank you.
observant deprogram just said something that's completely facts. He said Haitians are feared because of the voodoo. That is definitely true. My grandma, like I said, the spiritual realm, or that's what I call it, the spiritual realm. I don't know what you guys want to call it, but where the demons are, or the devils, or whatever you call them. I was one time living. This is just a quick story. I was one time, me and my family, we went to my grandma's house in Florida. She's heavy on voodoo, and the thing is, my mom still does pagan ritual, pagan days like Christmas, things like that. So we went down there for Thanksgiving, even though I don't celebrate that. She went down there and we were sleeping inside of I think it was the living room. We would hear at night stomping like in the closet, and literally the grandma and grandpa, they're out for the night. They went somewhere else. They went to some gathering or something. And we were ready to go to sleep. We heard stomping and horse noises. And next thing you know, we're like, does anybody hear that? My mom's like, just go to sleep and ignore it. Trust me, it's nothing too important. But you hear horse noises in Florida at 3 a.m. coming from like the room and stomping. You obviously think something's up. So the next morning, my sister went to get, I guess it was something out of the closet, and she saw a shrine or something. It's like some water, a little bit of food in front of a picture. And this picture was a dead family member, which is her father. And the thing about it is that that's not actually, it's just a demon. It's a devil, actually. It's not actually her father, because first off, none of us can actually come back. Like God has your spirit. You're not coming back after you die. So even when the witch like brought up Samuel from the ground, it wasn't her that brought him up. It was God that brought him up. So witches cannot do that. They end up bringing or calling
spirits,
that are not human. They're demons or devils, because the word demon isn't in the Bible, so I say devil. So they're just devils that just linger around.
Yeah, shoot. I don't want them to jump in my body then.
Yeah, that's the scary part.
Brother, you said something. Brother, you said Haiti helped liberate, most of the Caribbean countries.
Yeah.
For the rest of the Caribbean countries, you did not help liberate the Caribbean countries. You were made an example of what not to do. So that's why the rest of the Caribbean countries, most of the rest of the Caribbean countries, they never revolted.
Yes,
They never revolted. That's why the rest of the nations are keeping you guys on the chains up till now. Your economy, your ability to move forward, your ability to develop, they're practically keeping you guys on the chains. whereas they've left us to our own devices because we did not revolt, we refused to revolt, and we just got destroyed. Our people are just destroyed and destroying themselves even further down.
Yep. That's why they killed the Haitian president that said no to the vaccine. They're constantly putting Haiti down, and Colombia is a satellite state of the United States. It's like Israel in the Middle East. That's why you saw Colombian insurgents going to Haiti to kill the president. So
Yeah.
it looks like a cover up from the United States. So it's a lot of things that they do to destabilize that country. But as you can see, the people are always rising up and kicking out their informants or whatever the heck they keep trying to put in place of power. But yeah, definitely, you're right. You're completely correct.
Sister Pamela, you said that Trinidad was independent, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, when your House of Parliament is opening, do they walk in with that banner, that standard? It's like a stick with a crown on it. Do they walk to your what do they call it? It's your oh my goodness. The police inside the police authority inside the Parliament House.
Mm-hmm.
Do they walk in with a stick with a crown on top of it?
No, I don't think we do that anymore.
Well, because they still do it in most of the Caribbean islands that claim to be independent. They still do that. And as long as that is being done and you still getting British warships packed outside your waters, you are not independent. They say you are independent, but you are not independent. And that's what I'm saying. We were brought here as slaves. If you look at our constitution was arranged and made up by these other countries. And there are guidelines that we have to go according to, that was set by these other countries. Remember, these countries know that this is not our land. That's why now when you buy land in St. Lucia, I do not know for Trinidad, when you buy land in St. Lucia, your deed of sale still says it's a lease from the royal family from Britain.
Okay, but are you all a republic nation as well?
No, we're independent, we sir.
So you're because I know some countries they're not a republic, they're independent, but they're still not a republic because we celebrate an Independence Day and a Republic Day. I think it's a difference. If you're not a republic nation, you still have ties to the monarchy.
Yeah, because it's not our land. The land does not belong to us, and they know.
Are you Jamaican?
No, I'm from St. Lucia.
St. Lucia. Ah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Hey, question. It's St. Lucia. Where is it at?
St. Lucia is just off the west coast of Barbados. Barbados is out of the chain of the Lesser Antilles. St. Lucia is right off the west coast of Barbados. So if the Lesser Antilles was a bow and arrow, St. Lucia would be where you put the arrow, and Barbados would be the end of the arrow.
Yeah.
You know that's a city that the Negroes, so-called Negroes, Israelites stayed in. The name of it was in Portugal.
St. Lucia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they name it that. That's what I'm saying. Wow.
Yeah.
So-called what they call Negro City back then.
Yeah, because I think just off the west coast of Africa, there's St. Helena. I've been to St.
Thomas
Helena.
too. Yeah.
And that's when they say that Columbus came to St. Lucia. I don't think Columbus ever came to St. Lucia. But nevertheless, when they named St. Lucia, they named St. Lucia after St. Helena because the mountains reminded them of St. Helena. So that's why they call St. Lucia Helen of the West.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, they have a city in Jamaica now. Maybe y'all can help me out.
Well, all right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and head out. It was nice. Shalom, everybody.
Shalom. I gotta get ready to go to, but I think it's a city in Jamaica called St. Lucia, where they found. I was watching B'nai Israel, where they found these graves that was covered up and they got the graves of the Jews. It was black people, and they was chopping them down and structuring the grave site.
I gotta look this one up.
Long Benin, Israel, he's really good with that. He do a lot of research on Spain and Portugal, and pointed out that Judah came to the Caribbean. Basically, what he pointed out. Yeah.
In Brisbane, Australia, there's St. Lucia.
Okay.
And we found out that it was actually named after this St. Lucia.
South Africa.
Oh, okay.
South Africa.
So most times when they ask us, where you guys from? And we say St. Lucia, they say like, no, where you guys really from? And we say like St. Lucia. And if that like, no, but St. Lucia is in Brisbane, we tell them, no, we're from the real St. Lucia, which is in the Caribbean.
Okay. Well, I'm ready. Y'all finished because I'm ready to go to bed. Now I can click off. Y'all want to stay on here? Yeah, it's still running. But y'all want to, Brother Eric, you want to start on the close out and we can go around the table? I just want to say shalom to all of y'all. Great message. Part 3 is coming up next week. Hey, Ralph Wolf, if you send me your email, I can just start emailing you or Facebook. Oh, you know what? I can send on Facebook. I'm sorry. It's what's the name of Paula Lawrence, right?
My Facebook is Lawrence Noble.
Lawrence. Okay, yeah. I can send a link on Facebook because the panel is next week, so I want to make sure you get it. All right. So shalom to everybody, and great message, Sister Pamela. Great history, and the Caribbeans, they are Israelites just like us.
Facebook.
And y'all can go around and say shalom, whatever. I'm going to close out.
Yeah, shalom to everybody once again. Thanks again, Sister Pamela. All praise to the Most High. Shalom.
Shalom, everybody. Sister Pam, again, great message. And Brother Kada, thanks for doing that. All praises to the Most High. Good evening.
And I'd like to say shalom to everybody. Thank you, Brother Kada, for allowing me to be on your platform. Thank you, Brother Eric. Thank you, Brother Ralph. Thank you to your listening audience for being a good audience to listen to the truth. And may the Most High continue to bless us as a people and unite us as one.
Okay, shalom, peace.
Peace. Hallelujah.